We've covered a lot of cities, but let's turn the spotlight on Maharashtra's second largest city, Pune. The city has actually transformed into an IT and manufacturing capital of the state over the last decade, making it one of the biggest employment-creating hubs of the country. So, well, the need for housing has also gone hand in hand with the growth of working population. But as the case is in the rest of India, the residential market has been quite slow. We've got some key findings from Gera, which are one of the well-known developers of this market. They come out with an annual property report. And this year, 2018, there are some key findings. Rohit Gera joins me on the phone line to run us through those key findings. Rohit, thank you very much for being here. So I sense from the report that, yes, unsold inventory is at a 4.5-year low, but it's still a little uncomfortable at about 26% of total available inventory.
So, Manisha, this is actually a good news, bad news kind of situation. At 26%, it's actually really good numbers. And in fact, if you look at the number of months to consume the inventory, even that's come down. So I think in that sense, we're in a good situation. Why I say it's a bit of a bad news situation is because the reason why these numbers have come down is because the number of projects that are being launched and the new inventory being brought out by developers is down by 50% over the last 2 years. So from about 110,000 homes that were launched 2 years ago, over a 12-month period, it's down to about 56,000 homes launched in the last 12 months. Again, the good news in this is I think this is because developers are all focused on completing their ongoing projects. This is clearly a RERA result. So you know, it's in a way, it's very good news as far as the customer is concerned as well.
All right, then run us through some of the key areas. There are a lot of investors also now looking to come back into the market. Prices have been stable. There are first-time home buyers. We get lots of questions on the show. Give us some of the employment generation hubs, and is there enough inventory coming in that price of 25 to 60 lakhs, which seems to be the sweet spot?
So let me answer the last bit first, right? So almost 80% of the entire supply is in the sub 1,000 square foot range, and the overall city average pricing is at about 4,600 rupees a square foot. So clearly in that sweet spot of sub 60 lakhs, there is a large amount of options which are available for consumers. What's really important to note though is that we then went and looked at all the inventory, and we found that about 1/3 of the apartments which are available for sale have been launched more than 3 years ago, which basically means that these are projects which are currently facing delays, and therefore it's really critical that whoever the customer is, whether he's an investor or whether he's a first-time home buyer, they go out and look at projects where there is concrete being poured actively on the sites, because if by chance you get lured in by some attractive pricing on a project which is moving really slow, you're going to face serious problems. So I think that was one interesting fact that we found, that 1/3 of the projects are launched more than 3 years ago. The average size of homes in Pune over the last few years has dropped from 932 square feet. It's now at 747 square feet being launched. Again, this is as a result of the push which is coming from the PMAY projects. ATIB is now a tax beneficial scheme. Consumers are available in that marketplace. So I think looking at all the numbers, timing-wise, this is a great time to be buying into this market. The moment the sentiment turns, I think we'll see inventory levels drop substantially as soon as the sentiment turns. 2 years ago, this market sold about 93,000 apartments. In the last year, it sold 76,000. So it can, and you know, keep in mind, 2 years ago, we had demonetization and all of that as well. So given that, I think it's really easy for this demand to go back to the 80, 90,000. There's a lot of demand that's going to come in from the IT parks which are coming in. So just in East Pune alone, there's about 10 million square feet of IT parks which are in the pipeline. This will generate 1 lakh new jobs. Again, that's going to lead to a demand in homes. So I think we are largely at the bottom of the cycle. So I look at it in a sense very positively looking forward.
All right, so bottom of the cycle, but things are now looking better. Rohit Gera, thank you very much for sharing those key highlights and deep diving for us into the Pune residential market. So no time better than now for first-time home buyers to actually look out actively. There is a shrinking inventory. Prices are pretty soft, I would say, likely to now start rising up as the inventory or the stock of projects or houses goes down. We're going to slip into a short break. Remember to send in your questions at home@nw18.com. Few more cities to cover, so stay tuned.